So the Las Vegas Raiders have been making a bunch of moves today, and there's a lot of rumors about who is going to stay with this team, who's getting traded, and who's getting cut. All that and more on today's episode of the Raider D Podcast. All right, welcome back, everybody, to the Raider D Podcast. If you're brand new here and you've never been to the podcast before, buckle up, you are in for a treat today because the Las Vegas Raiders went and made a trade with the Cleveland Browns, not for Shedeur Sanders, like a lot of people were speculating on, but rather for Kenny Pickett, a guy who was picked just a few years ago by the Pittsburgh Steelers at pick number 20, and he has really just not panned out. I mean, he's been passed around now to 4 different teams, including the Raiders, picking up the remainder of his rookie contract, which we're going to talk about here in a minute, and how much it cost the Raiders, so stay tuned for that. So, Kenny Pickett, now in the silver and black. He is a Raider. He is now the backup, expected to be, to a Geno Smith. So he'll be getting a ton of those second team reps over the next 2 weeks to make sure that he is ready to go for the regular season if anything were to happen to the captain of the ship, Mr. Geno Smith himself. That being said, this does not mean that Cam Miller is going to be cut from the team. I think that he will stay on the 53-man roster because, as we know, with the extended season that we now have as 17 games, having 3 quarterbacks can be integral. The reason being is a lot of quarterbacks have been suffering from injuries, whether they're missing just a quarter, a half, or even a game or 2, or multiple, or the whole season. You got to have a quality backup. And this is exactly what Coach Pete Carroll was saying when he said he wants somebody with NFL experience. And Kenny Pickett does have that. However, it hasn't really panned out great for Kenny Pickett. Yes, in his 25 games, he has picked up 15 victories over 10 losses. But at Pittsburgh, he only averaged 63% completion. He had 2,404 yards and 7 touchdowns to 9 interceptions. Well, he was a rookie. We can forgive him for that. Year 2 at Pittsburgh, he played 12 games, so he had some injury issues. He had 324 completions, 62%, so he lost a little bit of his accuracy, down on yards as well at 2,070, and 6 touchdowns to 4 interceptions. So at least he flipped it over, but he just was not scoring the touchdowns. And then over in Philly, he only played 5 games for Philly. He had a 59.5% completion rating, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception. So listen, this guy is not the long-term answer. Yes, he did break a record at Pitt and threw for over 4,500 yards and 41 touchdowns, which is why he got picked up in the first round. But that seems to be a bit of a fluke in college that is not translated into the NFL as of yet. Now, if any coach can resurrect a quarterback's career, I think Pete Carroll is definitely the guy to do it. Are we expecting Kenny Pickett to come in and take over this team and beat out Geno Smith and be our starter and our long-term answer? Absolutely not. We've got him here for a year. He's here to back up Aiden O'Connell. And in my opinion, as soon as Aiden O'Connell is healthy enough, he will probably get traded for that 5th round pick back that we spent on the Browns because, in my opinion, Aiden O'Connell is a better quarterback than Kenny Pickett is. And again, we still have Cam Miller. So that's what's going on with the quarterback situation. Now let's get talking about the wide receiver room here because this is pretty explosive what is going on. But before we do that, just want to say thank you to today's sponsor, Box House. Yep, Box House again, same sponsor because they are just that good. If you need an ADU, if you need a tiny house, if you need a mother-in-law suite to get your mother-in-law moved out from the room next to your master bedroom and you want her to have her own space out in the backyard, you got to give my guys over at Box House a call. They got the best prices in the nation. They can deliver anywhere in the nation, and they are a class act to deal with and a big, proud sponsor of the Raider D Podcast. Let's go Raiders and let's go Box House. Now let's talk about the wide receiver room. As I mentioned in my video earlier, Jacoby Myers has officially requested a trade from the Las Vegas Raiders. And Jacoby Myers has only had one season where he's had over 1,000 yards, and that was last year, which was phenomenal for him, being the fact that he had 3 different quarterbacks throwing him the ball. So here's the thing about Jacoby Myers. Is he an elite wide receiver one? No. But what Jacoby Myers is he is a Swiss Army knife wide receiver that will do everything for you, even throw a touchdown for you. And that is just a rare specimen of wide receiver that you're going to get with a guy like Jacoby. He's going to come in, he's going to work his butt off, he's a team player, and he's been through the thick of it with the Raiders. And the Raiders have simply pretty much disrespected him when it comes to contract negotiations, and therefore, he has said, I'm done, I want out, go ahead and trade me. So what do the Raiders do? Well, in response to that, they go out and they sign Amari Cooper. Yes, Amari Cooper is coming back to the silver and black. We drafted him 9 years ago at pick number 4 overall in the first round, and Amari Cooper was supposed to be our superstar wide receiver. Now listen, Amari Cooper was the first wide receiver rookie to reach over 1,000 yards in a season, and he had a really good stint with the Raiders, but then the Raiders went ahead and let him go. Why? Well, because he had some drop issues and it just wasn't seeming like he was gelling with the rest of the team. He's bounced around a little bit, but he's been successful everywhere that he has gone. He has done a good job in his career. Multiple Pro Bowls, multiple 1,000+ yards. In fact, just in 2023, put up over almost 1,300 yards, right? With the Cleveland Browns of all people. And so now here's the deal. He gets traded over to the Bills last year, plays half season with them, not terrible, does okay. He's still got some pep in his step. He is still one of the most elite route runners in the NFL, and you could definitely put him in there at that slot position, and he's just going to chew up defense after defense after defense. And Geno Smith, being as accurate of a quarterback as he is, should be able to force feed the ball to him left, right, and center, and he'll pick up those 3rd and longs, kind of like Renfro used to do. And so in my opinion, bringing back Amari Cooper makes a lot of sense. I've made videos about it in the past. I made a video about it last year, that the Raiders should bring him back. And now is the time, because now we have an offensive coordinator who is a genius. We have a quarterback who is very accurate. We have the best running back to come out of the draft in 20 years. We have the best tight end to come out of, I don't know, humanity ever. And so the Raiders are really stacked and ready to go. And this offensive line, at least the first team, has really looked so pretty darn good in this preseason, right? Especially the last 2 games. And so as they have been able to continue to gel and get better and better and better, I think this is perfect timing to bring in Amari Cooper. Now, what does that mean for our boy Jacoby Myers? Well, he's already asked for a trade, and the Raiders responded by going and signing another veteran wide receiver that can do exactly what he does. Maybe doesn't block nearly as well as Jacoby Myers does, but outside of that, I mean, this is a guy who's multiple times in his career put up over 1,200 yards and multiple times had well over 800 yards. He's been to Pro Bowls. He is, in my opinion, even though it's a 1-year deal, he's probably not going to be here next year. Bringing in Amari Cooper, if you're going to lose Jacoby Myers, makes perfect sense. You have Jack Bech. He's the young gun. He's the guy that is sitting and waiting to get his chance. Bring in Amari for this year. Have him in as a rotational. Get Bech in there as well. And now you can have the two of them really be a dynamic duo at the wide receiver spot, playing off of each other. The young rook with the veteran. Then, now you have trade capital because, listen, Jacoby Myers put on a Pro Bowl caliber year last year. He had over 1,000 yards. And again, he's a very highly sought after wide receiver for all of his skill sets. So if you're going to go ahead and get rid of him, now's the perfect time because you've already replaced him. And hopefully you can get at the very least a 3rd round pick for him, if not a player for player. But I think that because the Raiders have given up a couple of those draft picks in the quarterback realm, we're going to want to make some of those back. Jacoby Myers most likely gets traded away for a 3rd round draft pick. Drop comments down below. Make sure you subscribe for more, and I'll see you in the next Raiders video.